On topical issues, as always, Nigeria right now. Governor.
Gaskiya wuta noma.
As it relates to their relationship with Jackson. So that's it. This is Nigeria right now. Action. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And please, the hot seat.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So today on Nigeria Right Now show with Dickson Iroegbu. Today my guest is John Chuma Nwosu, the LP Guber hopeful in the forthcoming Anambra governorship election. We've longed to have him on this show to engage him, and here he is. Your Excellency, once again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So how is Nigeria treating you? That's how we begin on this show.
Well, Nigeria is treating me well.
Is
Not
it?
so bad? Yes.
Not so bad. Most Nigerians are complaining that the situation is horrible.
Well, the government is not doing very well.
It's not.
Yes. And I think it will be better.
What about the state level now? Let's come to the state level where you are aspiring to lead in the Anambra. What's the need for them? What are you bringing differently to the table?
Anybody that wants the current governor, Soludo, for another 4 years, does not love the Anambra. I can tell you that. First of all, the greatest problem of the Anambra today is insecurity, which has gone down. We have lost so many people, including our members of the House of Assembly. And people are complaining of illegal ways of tax collection and all the rest of them. The infrastructures are not there. It's only what we witnessed in the last 3 months was repainting of existing infrastructures built by his predecessors, painting and getting them. So my coming in there is to change everything and bring a new, prioritize the activities of government and give them the Anambra what they deserve.
That sounds very reassuring, but then politics. This sounds like politics too, because you have to demarcate your opponent, isn't it? Are you a politician? Because you haven't been seen within the political arena, all this while. What will you say about being a politician?
Well, I'm an IT consultant, economist. So I'm venturing into politics out of annoyance because Anambra State is not working.
Out of annoyance?
Yes, because Anambra State is not working. And we can't sit and be looking for things to go down the drain. So that is why I'm in politics.
How long have you been in politics, by the way? And they said politics is dirty. Are you, looking at you, you seem to be a gentleman. How will you cope within that arena where rough fight is allowed sometimes?
Well, politics is not dirty, but it's the players that are dirty. So I'm coming to bring a change on the way things are being done politically.
Who is your mentor in politics?
My mentor in politics is His Excellency Peter Obi, our presidential candidate.
So how long have you been following him? Because during the obedient movement and all of that, you were not seen within the political arena. Were you at the background rather?
Well, I was the ICT director for Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Council. I started following him during the PDP days. I was one of the few people that traveled with him, toured the entire 19 states of the North, to market him to the Northern people for presidency under PDP. Before we moved over to Labour Party, when we noticed that it wasn't going our way, But we believe that with him, change is possible. That's why we all moved to Labour Party. And you can see, the evidence is there, how well we did in the last national election.
Do you have his backing for this election? because there are other obedience. One of them just moved to APC. Valentine Ozigbo, were you possibly responsible for his exit? Is it possible that he found out that maybe the leader of the party, that is PO now, Peter Obi now, right, doesn't seem to be favoring him? Are you his favorite candidate? Will you say that?
Peter Obi does not favor anybody. Peter Obi is a straightforward man who wants people to do things the right way. I know that if I'm doing well, like I'm doing, he's going to support me. But if I'm not doing well, he will not.
Is he supporting you now?
Definitely, he will support me because I know I'm doing well.
You're not the sole contestant in the LP at the moment. So do you have his support?
He made it known to every aspirant that, look, go to the field, be visible, and be able to show change. Show the Anambra that we are better than the incumbent. And with that, he will support you. So I think he's supporting me.
Okay. That. Politics is local, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have to mingle with the people within your communities and all that. And you're from Anambra South, right?
Well, I'm from Nnewi North, in Anambra South.
Because I know that Anambra respects zoning a lot, and the current governor is from Anambra South, yes. Right? And that will be doing one term, isn't it? Are you going to be doing one term?
Well, I believe
if you were to win the election.
I believe in zoning. Zoning has come to stay in Anambra. What I can tell you, no matter how well I'm performing, once it is 4th year, I will leave and hand over to a candidate that will continue where I stopped. So I believe in zoning. No matter how well I'm doing, even if people are asking me to continue, I can tell you, based on my philosophy of truth and fairness to everybody, on the last day of the 4th year, I will leave the office for another person to take over. I promise you that.
That's very assuring, because politicians, most times, they say power is intoxicating. At the time you're occupying that seat, one will wonder if you won't have a reason to tell in the Anambra something differently. That, oh, okay, you still have, because 4 years, is it enough for you to do the things you want to come and do for the Anambra?
With a few good men that has the same mindset of change, 4 years is enough for you to set the foundation and get things going. Look at what has happened in the only state being managed by Labour Party today, Abia State. Has there not been a change? They have electricity in a major commercial city there. And today, market is working, education is working, industries have moved back to Aba. You know? So 4 years is enough for anybody who has something to do.
In other words, you think that the incumbent is probably, maybe have been sleeping, because all the while, the insecurity festered. And suddenly, we're seeing a new approach to tackling the insecurity situation. Well, how will you address the incumbent, if you will?
Well, as an ICT consultant, you know, I own an ICT company by name JetLink. We have been operating in Nigeria, Ghana, and Liberia for the past 30 years. What you need in security is make use of the conventional security people, then with some aspect of technology, having AI-powered CCTV. With that, security can be tackled easily. And as of today, the incumbent is not doing it that way. He waited until a month ago because election is fast approaching. He just bring people together and start running everywhere. His own system of security approach is not organized. For me, I always do what we call bottom-top approach. You know, training people using the conventional security force, and then add technology to it. Then I think we'll good to go.
So you think he woke up late?
He woke up late. To start with, so for you to tackle security in any environment, you must make use of all the 3 tiers of government. starting from traditional institutions, the municipals, and then the government institutions, you know. But I don't see him working with the traditional institution today. So there is no way he can get it right. Yes.
We'll take a break and then come back to engage further, because that aspect of having just 4 years, one term, to do the things that you say you want to do for your state, would have to get more on that. Nigeria right now with Dickson, Iroegbu will be right back.
Nigeria right now. Do you know why I stay very late at times in the office? So I can watch Nigeria right now. Very incisive, very detailed, and very informative. And most times, very direct. So my name is Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere, member of the House of Representatives, defender of the defenseless, fighter for justice, equity, and fairness, and a great son of rule of law. So make sure you watch Nigeria right now to get the real details without any adulteration. Nigeria right now with Dickson Iroegbu. Bet you will like it.
I love this program, Nigeria Right Now, by Dickson Iroegbu. It's a program that hinges its operations on patriotism, on making Nigeria better. I love it because they don't look at your faces to ask you questions. And I'm someone, if you are interviewing me, you must be hard on me for things to come out. So I love this program, Nigerians. Please watch Nigeria Right Now by Dickson Iroegbu. Ciao.
Welcome right back. This is still Nigeria Right Now with Dickson Iroegbu. And of course, my guest is still here, John Chuma. Addressing you as His Excellency, will it be right? Because I thought, oh, when we were coming in, I called you His Excellency. Do you think it is right for me to call you His Excellency?
I don't think so. I believe excellency is left for people that has done well. I'm a man that believes in excellence in anything you are doing.
So until you attain that
Efficiency,
position.
yes.
So I should just call you Mr.
Call me
John.
Mr. John Chuma.
That's like Peter Obi, isn't it?
Well,
Do you behave like him? Do you have any qualities that you would say you took a bit of certain traits from Mr. Peter Obi? Being your mentor.
Well, from his straightforwardness, efficiency, and anti-corruption, you know, that is his watchword. That's what he stands for. So I think I take those tools from him. Of course, I came from a very good Catholic background. I went to a seminary school. So I think that's part of what has made me who I am today.
It's telling on you because, honestly, when I interact with politicians on this show, even from their body language, you could see this overbearing influence. But you seem to be so gentle, calm, and unassuming. And one is wondering, okay, how will you relate with this environment, the political arena? Do you think this gentle approach is a better approach?
You see, there are two types of people in this life. There are people that make noise, but they don't deliver anything. That there are people that keep quiet, then they walk. You know? So I think I belong to the ones who, I don't believe in making noise. I believe in articulating and doing the right thing.
What do you think about the national scene? As an Igbo man, right, the southeastern Nigeria is appearing to be an isolated area for annihilation. The people, they sit at home, the insecurity, it's not just in Anambra State, it's festering here and there. Do you think the absence of leadership in the southeast may have been the reason, behind all of this?
Well, it's partly part of it, but largely from the central government also. Because I can tell you, since after the Civil War, the Igbo man has not been given his place back to the system. And I'm so happy with the launching of the book of the
IBB.
IBB.
A certain revelation was made there.
It was made that 1966 coup wasn't an Igbo coup, And my dear brother, Emeka Odumegwu of blessed memory, he has been vindicated. Because from what I read in history, he was in the North when the 1966
Coup
coup
happened.
happened. And he protected all the traditional institutions and the big people there, you know. And all he was doing was fighting for the right of the entire Nigeria. So I can tell you, an average Igbo man is a real Nigerian. He's not tribalistic. You know. So part of the problem of Southeast is lack of leadership, but major part of it is from where the central government places us. Yes.
So, but there are certain moves now. The creation of Southeast Development Commission, do you think is a good thing for the Southeast?
It's a wonderful idea. But there again, the way we manage it, we determine the result. But it's a wonderful idea that if I'm the governor of Anambra State, I will work closely with him and the 4 other governors so that we align the development instead of on what is peculiar and important to
The people.
each state.
I agree. Because indeed, if, for instance, as Ohanese and Igbo are clamoring for some reparation about
Yes.
$1 trillion, is it $1 trillion, about 11 trillion or thereabout that I heard? Do you think there is any amount of money that can be paid to your people to appease you for whatever you think is the injustice that the Nigerian system has?
Well, what an
against it.
average Igbo man wants today is truth to reconciliation, accepting that the Nigerian state has done wrong. Money cannot bring anybody back.
True.
You know, what does an average Igbo man want? Allow him to do his business, allow equal rights,
Enabling environment.
enabling environment, equal rights, equal opportunity.
To tackle the aspect of sit at home, if you were the governor of Anambra State now, what other approach will you give to it to engage the federal government to find a lasting solution to the issue of agitations and the sit at home and all of that, the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and all of that? Do you have a view that can
Well, I
possibly
think
help?
that something, dialogue, truthful dialogue, needs to be engaged between all the parties to the case. And I believe at the end of the day, I think there is issue of trust among all the parties. I believe if effective dialogue is involved, with everybody bearing their mind on the truth, I think the problem can be solved.
What about the aspect of the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Do you have a say on that? Some
Well,
have called for political solution. If the president of the country were to be watching now, and he wants to probably pick 1 or 2 from you, what will you say to him in that direction?
Well, I believe that, like I mentioned, that effective dialogue, discussing within Nnamdi Kanu, because what I think that is lacking is Nnamdi Kanu, trust between Nnamdi Kanu and
The Nigerian system.
the Nigerian system.
So you agree with the call for political solution?
Definitely, political solution will solve the problem effectively.
Are there things, for instance, that in the Anambra may want to hear from you that you want to sell here? What is in it for them if you were to become governor of Anambra State? What is in it for them? Beyond all of these other angles that, insecurity has been tackled, for infrastructure, what will they say listening to you now will give them hope to say, I think we can give this guy a chance?
Well, what I can say to the Anambra is that they have been overtasked and little were shown for all the monies that have been collected. What they will see in me will be transparency in government. With my knowledge of ICT, I will digitalize the government systems so that whatever we are doing will be seen by all. Transparency is key to good governance. And I believe in working with a good team. And as a matter of fact, one of the key problems that are affecting the entire Southeast is transportation cost. So I believe with a light rail, moving between Anambra, Imo, Abia, and Rivers State, and Enugu, that the cost of production will be reduced in the entire Southeast, and Anambra State in particular. So I believe that under my watch, the economy of Anambra State will grow to the highest ever.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to tell me who is not from Anambra State that can give me hope in the country that we find ourselves, Nigeria? Because on this show, what we promote is patriotism. That's what we promote on this show. Because out there, Nigerians seem to have abandoned Nigeria to be more like an abandoned child out there.
What I can tell every Nigerian, all the developed countries has passed through what we have gone through. It may not have been as deep as this, but I see the light in the tunnel. We must believe in Nigeria because we don't have any other country other than Nigeria. And wherever you find yourself, put in that you are little good. Do the right thing, and with that, the change is possible. The new Nigeria is possible, especially if we believe on the leadership of my mentor, Peter.
Talking about your mentor, I think we'll have to go there again. 2027 is gradually unfolding, right? Do you see the chances for your party in the next election? Because with all that has happened in LP, internal wranglings, even though one would claim is happening in all the political parties, what chances do you think Peter Obi has in the next election? Is there room for coalition or alliance?
There is room for coalition and alliance. It's part of politics.
Is that discussion on, to your knowledge? Is there any discussion in that direction?
Well, what we have in politics is permanent interest. So, of course, Labour Party is open to any discussion that we put our principle in power come 2027. As a matter of fact, my running for Anambra State Governorship election, Anambra is the home state of Peter.
Yeah.
And charity begins at home. So for my principal to do well in 2027, I must first of all do well in the coming election, November 8th.
Mr. John Chuma, Nwosu, it's been a pleasure. I like the conversation with you, calm, unassuming, and I agree with the vision you've expressed. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nigeria, right now with Dickson Iroegbu, of course, what we do on the show is to engage our guests to discuss patriotism. And we came this way to engage a man who I thought from afar we should reach. And we did have this opportunity with him. And for the past few minutes, we've had the conversation engaging on why he's contesting and why he is joining the political arena and why the state is the way it is and why the possibility of the Nigerian state can better improve and all of that. Let me give this assurance to you. There are leaders indeed. Politics is not dirty if we all get involved. Those who are at it now are possibly playing the dirty game, and that's why it's called a dirty environment. If the good people can get involved, then possibly we can have the right people to lead us aright. If we want to get it right in Anambra State, Anambra would have to look at all the aspirants, possibly, of course, eventually by the time they emerge as candidates, Anambrarians will now decide from amongst them who will be their next governor. But let me say this, Udochia in Anambra State, let there be peace. Let the process be credible. Let the umpire ensure that the will of the people thrives. And that is what will guarantee peace and safety for all citizens of the country. Let me finally say, as we would always say on the show, that part of the anthem of our country that guarantees that we may build a nation where no man is oppressed. I'll see you next week on the same show, Nigeria Right Now.